Joseph Parker beats Derek Chisora on a split decision. I'm here with Rick to talk about the whole card and the fight, where they go to next. Rick, let's just walk us through your prediction first. Just remind ourselves what your prediction was. How did you see it going?
It wasn't far off. I think I said it would be. I thought it'd be points. Thought it'd be very tight, but I was going towards Chisora. But I did say I wouldn't be surprised if it was the other way, and that was kind of what happened. I do think I actually had Chisora winning the fight. I had him. I had it 6 rounds each, but because he got the KO, he nicked it on my card.
Yeah.
I think one of the scorecards was awful. I don't know how on earth they scored that. They must have given him very, very little rounds. It's almost like for that judge, body punching doesn't count because he was getting him to the body a lot. And I don't know if that doesn't count in Poland or something, but I knew it was a tight fight. I don't like claim robbery or anything like that. I hate it when people don't score it the way you do. It's robbery because it's not, because it was a split decision and but the Polish judge was a really weird card. But I could understand if someone had it slightly to Parker. I could get that. For me, I just felt like Chisora was putting the pressure on, and he was getting a lot of shots through the body. Parker would end quite well. Neither had either in any trouble other than the knockdown. I don't think Parker was particularly in trouble at that point either. Yeah. And Chisora did kind of slow down towards the end. And actually, I thought towards the end, Parker might get to him because he seemed to be slowing down quite quickly. But then Chisora had a very good final round.
Yeah.
Did you score it?
Yeah, I did score it. I scored it 7-5 to Parker. So I think, hang on a second, did I? Yeah, 7-5, I think I had it to Parker. There's a couple of those rounds that I gave. You could swing one way or the other. So it was very close. I just thought that Parker landed the cleaner shots and the combinations. And yeah, I just...
What was that been with the knockdown though? Was that still by 1 point? So you'd have had Parker winning by 1 point then, I think, wouldn't you?
No. Yes, sorry, by 1 point. So 114, 113, I think I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't get any closer than that, really.
Yeah. So I went slightly the wrong way, but generally, I think we both said the same thing. We thought it'd be points. Yeah. We thought it'd be quite tight. It will be the pressure of that fighter versus the slightly more accurate, sharper puncher.
Yeah.
I thought I was surprised it was a knockdown.
Yeah. I know, he really rushed him. I mean, he always starts really well, doesn't he, Chisora? He starts really, really well. And I do think because his work can be a little bit ragged sometimes, he doesn't quite get the credit he deserves. Like, I actually thought he won the first Dillian White fight. White Chisora won. I remember scoring that and giving it to Chisora, and White got the decision. And I think he was actually winning the second fight before he got beat, before he got knocked out in the 11th. But yeah, I did find it a bit frustrating. I just feel like, I don't know, Joseph Parker's just kind of stuck in third gear. Like he's got a lot more to offer, but he just doesn't. I don't know if it was like fatigue or he's still kind of working things out with Andy Lee as trainer. But it just felt like he wasn't, I don't know, just wasn't firing at 100%. Like he's, getting backed up to the ropes, sort of easy, and he's just sort of tying him up. He didn't, use his feet. He wasn't really using that, great sort of lateral movement. And yeah, I don't know, for me, it just feels like Joseph Parker's maybe reached his level. Like, obviously he's probably a level above Chisora, but I don't know if he's got that many more. Like, I don't know if I'd pick him to beat, any of the top, say, 5 or 6, based on that performance, whether he's got, whether he can make those improvements. But I did think it highlighted what a good job Alexander Usyk, the job that he did on Chisora, because he beat him pretty convincingly. Like, Chisora was never really in that fight.
It was a lot. He actually had him wobbled as well. You're right. It does show Usyk's I did think that as well. Actually, it did show Usyk's, you know, how good that you know, that performance was now. But yeah, I just you think, look at Parker. He's been in so many close points decisions. Do you know what I mean? You know, he just you're right. He just doesn't seem to have that. I mean, there was one round where he caught Chisora with a couple of shots. I can't remember which it was, probably like late middle rounds, and he didn't. I don't know. Other boxers would have followed it up with more. I wouldn't say he had him wobble, but he had him a little bit shocked.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, was it like 7 or 8 or something?
Yeah, and he didn't then kind of go in and do some more and then see what that did. He was just almost like, oh, that'll do me. And therefore, because he's got a great jaw, he'll just keep going to points, and he'll probably just keep, you know, losing points if he gets up to higher opposition and that. Be interesting to see him in like some like Wilder fight, because you know that's a fight I could see him winning on points, because he'll probably win a lot of the rounds, and if he did get clocked, he could probably take it. Though he might go down, because he has gone down before, but he's never looked. The times he's gone down, he's never looked like he's going to be stopped.
Yeah. No, he's pretty robust. Got a good chin. It takes some, you know, somebody decent to stop him. But where would you see him going to next? I think this was for the WBO international strap. So obviously it puts them ahead.
Sorry, just before we get onto that, I think one thing that and I think I might have mentioned this in my last in the prediction video, even though I still went with Chisora. It'd be interesting to see what a crowd would have done.
Yeah.
Because though it shouldn't, it's human nature that it's going to sway things a little bit, and I don't think it swayed the Polish judge. You know, it may have swayed one of the other judges that had it quite close to more to Chisora, because of just, you know, the noise for Chisora when he was like landing and stuff. Though, you know, you don't want it to affect him. I think it sometimes does.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Where do I think he goes? I mean, I think Chisora seems to have like loads of lives, because it was almost like whoever loses this is kind of done, not done, but you know, but because it was very tight, and I mean it's weird because the Sky judges had it a bit wider than I did. I was watching it going, they seemed quite high on Parker, and I wasn't quite. You know, when you're kind of watching it and you're not quite with what the TV's saying, you're like, am I getting this wrong? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
And then when I heard what other people had, and what the judges had, and it was quite close, because you know when it's a split decision, because they announce the first score and then they'll say one of the fighters, so you know that the other, you know, it's a split. And then Hearn had it very close, and I think even what's Parker's trainer called? Andy Lee said it, you know, that it was close. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, because Sky had it quite a bit wider, I think, from memory. So anyway, I think with that performance, he could get a rematch. He could potentially still bounce back and fight.